Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to, welcome to our first ever episode of Revolutionary Culture. As you can see, I am joined by Chairman Afrika from the Black Panthers of New Jersey. We have decided to start an entirely new segment devoted to, like the title says, revolutionary culture in the United States. Well, actually, not just the United States, all over the world throughout history. We're going to go over what's was it Mao Zedong said called combat liberalism, yes, which we'll go ahead and define that. And actually up until today, not today, I guess, up until recently, I always considered myself a liberal, but after reading this, I most definitely am not. We're also going to be talking about abolitionist John Brown, one of the few, if not the only one I can possibly think of off the top of my head, one of the few white people in American history that you could truly consider a revolutionary. Some tended to disagree with his tactics a little bit, but for the most part, he got results. So, welcome, Chairman Afrika. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm looking forward to doing this every single week. This is going to be a very educational series where we talk about what it is to be a revolutionary in 2026 America. It's not easy. I can tell you that. You're not going to make, you're going to make some enemies, hopefully make a lot of friends at the same time. Probably going to rub people the wrong way, especially liberals from what I'm reading here, which is probably something I've been doing for quite a while and why I don't tend to get along with liberals too much. But but other than that, Chairman Afrika, how's your day going so far?
Outstanding. All my days are beautiful. I mean, when you have a purpose, everything just fits in place.
You know, I've been telling people that for like the last couple of years. Like, this has been probably the most difficult couple of years of my life, but at the same time, it's been the most rewarding couple of years of my life. Starting last year with, I guess, the resistance, because I feel like the resistance has run its course, and we definitely need to start getting into the revolutionary mindset, because obviously our government doesn't listen to us whatsoever. But like you said, if you have once you find your purpose in life, whatever that may be, it does change you in a way. It makes things that you used to think were important seem kind of trivial. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like right now, I used to be a very materialistic person in my youth. You know what I mean? My first love was money. After I got out of the military, I thought personal possessions. I fell into the capitalist imperialist trap. I thought possessions are what defined me. Like if I had a nice car and a nice suit and a big bank account, that people would respect me. You know what I mean? Which is honestly a crazy way of thinking. But I think too many youth these days see all the flashy stuff on the internet. They see all the flashy stuff on TV, and they just assume that's what happiness is. But I found out the hard way. Every time I acquired this material possession that I had been obsessing over, it was never as good as the, I guess, hype leading up to it. And in a way, my life kind of seemed very empty. It just seemed like you can't, the phrase is cliche as it is, you can't buy happiness, is absolutely true. You know, material possessions do not define you. And it doesn't make you, I don't know, in any way, shape, or form. You shouldn't let money define you. You should not let people convince you that you need to have six-figure jobs and nice cars and all that stuff to be a contributing member to society. But I think we've seen lately that capitalism is definitely not the way to go. Over the last year, though, I've been leaning more towards democratic socialism, which is kind of, I think, where we should be headed. Capitalism to me is on its last dying breath, but unfortunately, it looks like it's trying to take the entire world down with us in the process. So, yeah, we're hoping to educate people and get people up to speed on why being a revolutionary is so important, especially in these trying times that we're in. We've started World War III. We're close to nuclear war as possible. Gas prices are going to go up. Food prices are going to go up. There's going to be mass panic in the streets. And I don't think people really realize that yet.
All power to the people. No, you're right. You're 100% correct. And before I start, Pam, y'all say good morning, so I got to say good morning. I think that's Cecilia. You say good morning. Hey, I got to say good morning back. I ain't going to ignore y'all. Hey, all power to the people. But now we're talking about revolutionary culture. And I like to Google stuff. I ain't going to tell you what I think it is. Hey, culture is a shared learned system of beliefs, values, behaviors, and symbols that defines a group's way of life and shapes their world view. That's what culture is. So this show is revolutionary culture. What is revolution? Revolution is to transform, to bring about something new. We're all tired of the society the way it functions. It helps none of us here. It only works for a select few, for the elites. That's the only people that this society works for. So we're here to try to build this culture where we could start working together to start finding ways how we can sustain each other. Because we know the politicians, the government, none of these people are going to do anything to save us. This is nothing scary. We're not telling nobody to do anything that you're going to get yourself in trouble for. But we need to start thinking ahead and start being ready for what's coming.
I agree.
Yeah, because it's coming.
I agree. I think we are too reactive as a society. We always wait for something to happen and then we scurry around trying to figure shit out. Well, we should be looking ahead at what we know what's coming. And I think people Americans especially are just so in denial. And let's be honest though. Most Americans have a pretty shitty life. Bills, debt, stress, trying to figure out your health insurance, stuff like that. And that's not even to mention trying to raise a family in America these days. And I think people just need to get out of that mindset that they're going to. All right. So I always say this on our show, like we're going to suffer regardless, whether it's as a result of this administration or something else. Like we are going to suffer here in the near future. Now we have an opportunity to take some of that power back and do it on our own terms. So suffering is coming, but are we going to do it as individuals or are we going to rise up and do it as a unified front? Because unified, we could do anything we want. If we came together despite our differences in this country, which I know is a lot to ask, and especially in America, because it seems like America was built around racism. But if we were able to somehow unify 60, 70, 75% of this country to understand that we need to look at different parts of history, like different, like today we're going to talk about Mao Zedong, who wrote the Red Book. I forget what the name of the Red Book is.
Quotations from Chairman Mao.
Yeah. Which a lot of people, they call it Maoism, right? So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh my God, no, that's communism. But I mean, then you say socialism, people automatically think the Nazis because they called themselves nationalist socialists, not even realizing that the socialist part of that was complete propaganda. They just threw that socialism in there to make themselves look good, like they were for the people. They were not socialists whatsoever. Like there's so many, if we were able to look at history and try and pick the positive things out of each society and manage to come together and create something better, like why aren't we doing that? Why are we still trying to put band-aids? Like it's like capitalism in America and democracy in America it's dying. It's a corrupt system. They're all paid off. And at this point, people are saying, well, we'll just vote in November. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The Democrats are paid off by the same people as the Republicans. So we're literally cutting our leg off and then asking somebody to put a Band-Aid on it as if that's going to fix the problem. I really think we just need to, and I get a lot of heat for saying this, let this system crash. Let it. It's not working. We're not going to be able to fix this broken ass system. We have to try something new. And until people are in the right mindset for that, it's going to be tough. So hopefully we're able to open some eyes and, put some ideas in people's heads to make them think at least a little bit. Maybe this isn't all bad. Maybe this is something we should be looking at.
You're not crazy.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, you're not crazy. The world is not sane. So, so if you went along with what was going on, you would be crazy too. What we're dealing with is not sanity, where people are sleeping in the streets in the empty buildings right next to them. This kind of a society is crazy. It's weird. And it's like if you feel that what you're seeing, what you're living through is wrong and it doesn't make sense, you're not the crazy one. And we have to start to realize that. And then you said most people, like what is it? They're in denial. Yo, as Americans, we are the most propagandized people on the planet.
We are. I did not realize that until recently. Man, we are.
24/7. Like right now, there's a war going on. You only see one place getting blown up. The media is constantly showing you one place being blown up, while the other side, you can't really see nothing because they're not allowing you to see what's going on. They're not talking to nobody. So it's like, so people in America are walking around like everything cool, like they have nothing to worry about because their leadership, the media, all these people is talking to them as if they're invincible, as if none of these things are going to do anything to them. It's going to have an impact on their life, and they're lying to them. So so like in like let's say a year, 2 years, when like oil is like $200-300 a barrel, and people can't survive. And then these same media people are going to start talking as if they knew what was going on the whole time, when in fact they're part of the problem.
Yeah, we haven't even seen the consequences of this war yet.
No,
I mean, just yesterday they blew up 2 major oil fields in the Middle East. One I believe was in Qatar, and the other one I think was in Saudi Arabia, maybe.
Yeah.
And that hasn't even that we haven't even seen the price go up from that. Plus, when diesel fuel goes through the roof, everything we get in the stores is delivered by a big truck that runs on diesel fuel. So what do you think that's going to do to our grocery costs? Or these companies aren't going to be able to afford to deliver the food, and we're just going to have empty shelves, which we are actually already starting to see in places like Walmart. So I don't think people really truly understand, and I didn't honestly until the last few years just understand how bad things are going to get. Not might get. We are past the point of no return. Things are about to get extremely real in America, and the only thing we can do is try and educate people enough to understand what's coming and how we can fight back against this corrupt and broken system. So that's why we're talking about combat liberalism today. Do you want me to play that video and we could talk about that?
In 1 second. They are too comfortable, Rebecca. The people are the elites are too comfortable, because we're not organized to put that fire under their ass. And I mean, so like we have to make them uncomfortable by us on the bottom coming together. I mean, so yeah, so that's where we at. But go ahead, you could start the video and we could stop it after everyone to have a discussion. Because like most people don't know who Mao is. They think like this is communism, it's a cult. But these quotations are advice to defeat the savages, these sociopaths. Because guess who defeated them? Mao defeated them. Not only did he defeat these Epstein class, he also defeated the other Chinese people that wanted to join. They had a civil war. So he had to defeat other Chinese people, then defeat the other Western countries that were coming in trying to take over the country. And he's giving us the advice on how they did it. I mean, so it's like if you want to defeat these people, it seemed insane not to go listen to the people that defeated them already.
Right. So, all right, let's play this video here.
Combat Liberalism from September 7th, 1937. Let's get into the audiobook. We stand for active ideological struggle because it is the weapon for ensuring unity within the party and the revolutionary organizations in the interest of our fight.
Pause.
Every
Pause.
communist and audiobook.
Yo, you heard what he just said? He said we stand for active ideological struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, in what we doing here, yo, Jeremy is not a king. I am not a god. We don't rule anything.
Mm-hmm.
When we say we working together as an organization, Mao is telling you we stand for active ideological struggle. That means if you think what I'm saying or what I'm doing is wrong, we're supposed to talk about it. I'm not your boss where you afraid to talk to me. And then when we talk about it, all of us sit down and we have a discussion about it, a scientific discussion, not you just making up stuff. We have a scientific discussion. Yo, you may be right. And you know what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to listen to you because you're right. And we all accept it. Me, Jeremy, Rebecca, Pamela, all of us. We all be like, all right, so yeah, Jeremy was right. We're going to follow what Jeremy said. And then we all go with it. We don't come back later and be like, nah, I was just agreeing to be agreeing. I wasn't serious. I ain't really mean to agree. Then you're a liberal. You're practicing liberalism. I just wanted to get that out.
I like that.
And bringing about political degeneration in certain units and individuals in the party and the revolutionary organizations. Liberalism manifests itself in various ways. To let things slide for the sake of peace and friendship when a person has clearly gone wrong, and refrain from principled argument because he is an old acquaintance, a fellow townsman, a schoolmate, a close friend, a loved one, an old colleague, or old subordinate, or to touch on the matter lightly instead of going into it thoroughly so as to keep on good terms. The result is that both the organization and the individual are harmed. This is one type of liberalism.
Pause it again. What you think about that?
I like that. I was actually going to say that we have bred a culture of people that are afraid of conflict.
No, you're right.
Like people will sit here and I know people that will agree with anything. You know what I mean? Even if it conflicts with their own personal beliefs, they're so afraid to just get in a heated discussion or even an argument with somebody because they're afraid of that conflict. And as a result, that's what you get. And you're not solving any problems. You're just creating more problems and you're creating resentment between the people that are talking. So yeah, that's pretty good.
And then like, if we in an organization let's say my wife, she's part of it and she stole. She stole some money from the organization. What most people do is they side with their family, side with their wife. In the organization that we're going to be part of, we don't do that. That's liberalism. I mean, because once you do that, it breaks the entire group apart. People start saying like, yeah, there's favoritism. Like he not really serious. We cannot have this. But in the world that we grew up in, this is normal behavior. I mean, side with your family, fuck everybody else. As long as you siding with your family, your family first, everybody else second. Nah, this is not how this works. The number one thing here is the organization, because the organization will live after us. We are here to maintain the organization. It is higher than us individually or any single person that we know. Yeah. That's it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, my mom's kind of like this. She doesn't like conflict at all. And as a result, lets people push her around. And it drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand it.
And my mother's the opposite. She do too much.
Yeah, I'm like my father. He has no problem getting in somebody's face. My dad was like that. You know what I mean? So, all right, let me play this again.
To indulge in irresponsible criticism in private instead of actively putting forward one's suggestions to the organization. To say nothing to people to their faces, but to gossip behind their backs, or to say nothing at a meeting, but to gossip afterwards. To show no regard at all for the principles of collective life, but to follow one's own inclination. This is a second type.
So you want to go over that, or you want to keep going?
All right, let's go over the next one and we'll stop again.
All right.
To let things drift if they do not affect one personally. To say as little as possible while knowing perfectly well what is wrong, to be worldly wise and play safe and seek only to avoid blame. This is a third type. not to
All right,
Yeah.
so the number 2 was to gossip. Yo, we have a meeting. We sit down, we have a meeting. We like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Everybody agree on it. Then as soon as we break the meeting, people are making calls to each other.
Right.
Fuck you talking about? What the fuck you talking about? Ain't nobody doing that shit. Then why are we in the organization then? I mean, you're practicing liberalism. I mean, there's no need to gossip. What was the next one? To let things drift. Like, yeah, we're gonna get to that shit later. We're gonna get to that shit later. Like, you will never accomplish anything. I mean, and these, like, but listen to what Mao is talking about. Mao didn't say follow me. He's giving you advice on how to keep your organization tight. I mean, but yeah, that's all I got.
I like he says here to say as little as possible while knowing perfectly well it's wrong. It's like somebody telling you 2 + 2 = 5, and you're just like, yup.
Word.
You know what I mean? Kind of like MAGA does. Donald Trump could come out and say the sky is purple, and they'd be like, hey, yup. You know what I mean? Just idiots.
Big Hesson said, we didn't start this war. You remember that? When he was saying that, he was standing at that podium. That's the first he said, we didn't start this war. Everybody know you started the war.
Yeah.
But you could just go ahead and just lie because that's acceptable in their circle. We are better than that.
to obey orders, but to give pride of place to one's own opinions, to demand special consideration from the organization, but to reject its discipline. This is a 4th type.
What
To
you think about
indulge
that?
in personal attacks. Pick
Not to obey orders. I mean, but think like whatever you want, what you want to do, everybody should listen to, should do that. Everybody should follow you. But when it's your turn to obey orders, nah, I'm too high. I'm the chairman. I'm the leader. I'm not gonna. That's what it's talking about. You can't move like that.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, but, my bad. I ain't
No,
gonna
no,
stop.
No, actually, it's actually crazy because the organization I'm working on right now, we had a meeting this last Sunday, and I told everybody flat out, like, I don't call shit. Like, we decide this as a group. Yeah, because I don't want anybody thinking that what I say is what goes. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta,
But people not used to that. People not used to that kind of space. Yo, at our jobs, everywhere we go, you're not supposed to really question authority. Even in school, when we was growing up, you don't question authority. I mean, you just accept whatever they tell you, and you just like do what you can to stay out of trouble.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh, God, I'm sorry, I mean, cut you off.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I tell everybody these days, like, don't blindly follow or believe anything. Like, ask questions. If you don't see the point of this, like, ask.
Exactly.
If you don't see why we're doing what we're doing, ask. Like, if somebody or if the government's telling you something and you don't believe it, you know, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to be skeptical, but you should never blindly follow anyone or anything, I don't think.
And let me tell you something else. Yo, this is revolutionary culture. When we learning these practices and we start to implement them, we're changing how things are done. That is revolutionary culture, because we're going to start practicing these things that we are learning here. I mean, how not to talk about each other, how to be sincere, how to have these conversations, how we are all equal. That is not how our world works. Our world outside our doors, outside our windows, it does not work that way. So by us participating and doing what we're doing, we are creating a revolutionary culture.
quarrels, vent personal spite, or seek revenge instead of entering into an argument and struggling against incorrect views for the sake of unity or progress or getting the work done properly. This is a 5th type.
I got one on this one. All right, so like the new organization we're working on is obviously called the Unity Project, which people misunderstand that as meaning unify everybody. No, that's stupid. You can't unify everybody in this world. It is not possible. I'm trying to see if we can unify most of the people, but obviously there are going to be people that just have different views and are very bullheaded and are not going to listen to what you're saying. So yeah, personal attacks, quarrels, and vent personal spite or seek revenge instead of entering into an argument.
Yeah, and like, if our purpose is really to ensure our safety, our future, What are you seeking revenge for? How is that going to get us where we're trying to go?
Mhm.
All this kind of behavior, all this kind of selfish traits, you'll wash away once you have a purpose and you know where you're going. If we all got to get across that water, why am I trying to drown the person that's driving the boat? The person that got to drive it makes absolutely no sense. Or why am I seeking revenge on them when we're all going towards the same path? And I'm telling you, man.
No, and I like how it says for the sake of unity or progress. I mean, I think that's very important. I mean, I can't unify with a freaking Trump supporter. Like, that's insane. There's no way. To me, what they've done is unforgivable. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to enter into some form of unification with these people just for the sake of unifying. That seems counter-revolutionary almost. Like,
it makes absolutely no sense. It won't work because they have different philosophies than you have. Now, I could see a Trump supporter that says like, yo, you know what? I grew up my whole life in a reactionary home, conservative home, and I learned this. And then they come to a space where like, yo, I just watched them attack Iran. Iran didn't do nothing to them. So I just see the Epstein file. They're not trying to release it. I think these people are in it. You know what? I'm walking away. And I'm coming over there to Jeremy. What you talking about, Jeremy? That kind of person we can work with. Go ahead.
I had a conversation with a MAGA unintentionally. I swear to God, I was in Philly, right? And I had this kid kept hitting me up on Instagram, asking if we could talk. And I kept asking him, like, what do you want to talk about? I thought you wanted to talk about what I was doing down in Philly. And we got on the phone, and immediately when he started talking, I'm like, oh, shit. Trump supporter, Republican, okay? But by the end of the conversation, I shared my actual views, not the videos you see on social media, but my views on the world. And his words were, I cannot believe that I'm agreeing with so much of what you're saying. So I think there is a level of deprogramming that needs to be done on certain people. Like if you're going to abandon MAGA and come over to the left or whatever you want to call it, you're going to have to do some work. It's not like, because I see women, or not women, but all women and men making videos like, I left MAGA and I don't understand why they're not accepting me. Are you fucking crazy? Why would you think just because you said, oh, I don't support Trump anymore, we're just going to be like, come on over, let me give you a hug? No. Like, look at what you've done to our society. Look at what you've done to the world. We're on the verge of World War III, if it hasn't already started yet. And you think just saying my bad is going to solve the problem? No. Like, if you truly want to come over and have a talk with us, we'll talk. But as soon as you start getting ignorant and just spouting off these right-wing talking points, you know what I mean? The conversation is going to end because, again, I just can't agree with something just to agree with it. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that argument.
But check this out, though, Jeremy. It's not our fault to change them either. It's not our fault to get them right. We're not here to teach an old dog new tricks. Like, if you understand the path you're going is wrong and you want to change that, you want to be courageous, Prometheus, and change that, Promethean, and change that, that's courageous. That's I mean, I salute that. But I'm not going outside trying to convince anybody anything.
Nope.
Our purpose when we say we're building this culture is to institutionalize it so future generations can understand and come through this culture. We're not trying to go change nobody else. Like, so what is some of the work that we do in the community? We have an after-school program. We have children from kindergarten all the way up to college that be coming through the gym every day because it's a boxing gym. That's our institution. Those children are the ones that we'll focus on teaching. We're not trying to change nobody else because you're wasting time. You can't change people by and large.
Well, just like the right wing is propagandizing the youth with Turning Point USA and stuff like that. I mean, we have to also, focus on the younger generations because they're the future of this country. Like you said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes.
That's how you build societies, Jeremy. You build societies by teaching the youth, by teaching the next generation. And whether we call ourselves left, whatever they try to say is counter to conservatism. We don't do that. In our schools, we're not teaching them nothing. We're teaching them how to be workers and slaves to this system. We're not teaching them how to be thinkers. We're not teaching our children in these public schools, in any of these schools, how to challenge authority. They'll all just learn how to memorize stuff and just get through those classes.
Yeah, I remember being told that the Pilgrims and the Indians had a nice dinner. Yeah, you know this shit we used to learn, man.
To hear incorrect views without rebutting them, and even to hear counter-revolutionary remarks without reporting them, but instead to take them calmly as if nothing had happened. This is a sixth type. To be among the masses and fail to conduct propaganda and agitation, or speak at meetings, or conduct investigations and inquiries among them, and instead to be indifferent to them and show no concern for their well-being, forgetting that one is a communist, and behaving as if one were an ordinary non-communist. This is a seventh type. To see someone harming the interests of the masses and yet not feel indignant, or dissuade or stop him or reason with him, but allow him to continue. This is an eighth type.
Pause. Pause. So that's an 8 type. To see somebody doing wrong, like when you driving around, you see the police pull somebody over. You see the police whooping somebody's ass, and you just standing there recording, or you're just watching, and you don't get involved. You're not one of us. You're not a communist. You're not on our side. You're not part of this revolutionary culture. You're just like everybody else. I mean, and then he said to what you call it, but it's basically the same thing. 6, 7, and 8. Not to confront people when they're saying something wrong, when they're doing something wrong, when they to act like you're not a Marxist. It's like 6, 7, and 8 is like the same line. But go ahead, Jeremy.
Well, I was gonna say it's like when you watch a woman getting the shit beat out of her by ICE, and a bunch of men are just standing around with their fucking phones out when they should be putting boot to ass. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. That's why people are getting killed. That's why people are getting killed, because nobody's doing anything. We got too many liberals, too many pacifists in this country that are afraid of confrontation, that are afraid of putting themselves on the line for another human being. And we got to change that. That's why Renee Good got killed. That's why Alex Preddy got killed. That's why Keith Porter got killed. Everybody stood around with their phones out.
I want to say something about Alex. I want to say something about Alex. Yo, all day, every week, every month and year, we hear about white men, how they hate women, how they don't stand up for women, they don't respect women. Yo, you watch that video. He lost his life protecting that white woman.
He did. Yeah.
I don't see no feminist. I don't see, he should have been made the prototype of what being a man is. But nobody even talked about it. Nobody mentioned it. Yo, I'm talking about he threw his body over that woman to try to protect her. And everybody act like they don't see it. Like I didn't even see it anywhere. I didn't see not one story, not one thing saying, like showing that all these things they tell us about each other are lies. When they tell us we hate each other, we hate our families. Yo, for the longest, I used to watch on TV growing up, and they used to say how men didn't care about their families. And then when I grew up, I understood these motherfuckers is working 16 hours a day. How the fuck you gonna go to a basketball game? You working to protect the home, take care of the whole house.
Right.
And then the kids will grow up like, fuck you, dad. You never came to my basketball game. Bitch, I was working.
That's that capitalist system, though. You can't, a lot of people won't do a nationwide strike because most people in America can't go a day or a week or a month without income.
Yes.
We're kind of trapped in a way, but at the same time, like you said, we're just going to have to get used to being uncomfortable if we're going to try and fight against this. All right, let me play it.
To work half-heartedly without a definite plan or direction. To work perfunctorily and muddle along. Quote, so long as one remains a monk, one goes on toiling the bell, unquote. This is a ninth type. To regard oneself as having rendered great service to the revolution, to pride oneself on being a veteran, to disdain minor assignments while being quite unequal to major tasks, to be slipshod in work and slack in study. This is a 10th type. To be aware of one's own mistakes, and yet make no attempt to correct them, taking a liberal attitude towards oneself. This is an 11th type. We could name more, but these 11 are the principal types. They are all manifestations of liberalism.
Guess that's a good place to stop right there.
So
I didn't even play
no, you're good. So if you never listen to Mao, you never heard Mao, and all you listen to what the government, the media, everybody said about Mao, you just listen to Mao. What in there is him telling you to join the cult? He's giving you advice. Yo, if you use this advice, even in your own family, we would have better families. Most of our families don't even function like this. We lie to each other. We lie to the children lie to us. There's no accountability. Everybody just, I mean, I'm telling you, man, like, and we just breaking the surface right here by reading on Combat Liberalism. When you go in there to really study Mao, to understand how he really defeated imperialism, your mind will be blown. It's like open up a whole new universe.
Yeah. I mean, this is all, I'm glad we're doing this show, because this is obviously learning for me too. Because up until, I don't know, a couple months ago, I didn't really consider myself revolutionary. You know what I mean? So yeah, radical leftist maybe, but yeah, like I said, this is all new to me too. So for those out there that, you know, I'm learning right along with you. So I want to read this next part of it. Liberalism is extremely harmful in a revolutionary collective. It is a corrosive which eats away at unity, undermines cohesion, causes apathy, which I've been talking about a lot lately, and creates dissension. It robs the revolutionary ranks of compact organization and strict discipline, prevents policies from being carried through, and alienates the party organizations from the masses, which the party leads. And it's an extremely bad tendency. So yeah, I would definitely, along with myself, I would recommend reading all of this.
But think about it though. Can you live by this? And it's hard. It's not easy, because you're basically changing who you are, what you've been socialized to be. Can you live by this? So if you want to say, I want to be a revolutionary, you need to ask yourself, can I live by these rules?
Right.
And if you could live by them, that's a start. If you don't think you could tell the truth, if you don't think you could be in a space without having liberal tendencies, this ain't for you. I mean, this is the first step right here. Understanding these rules and being able to live with them. Because in our organization, we don't break any of these rules. We're not saying if somebody mess up, we don't have corrective measures. We talk about it in number 11. You got to take accountability. I mean, you got to take accountability if you're wrong. But if you don't want to agree, if you're still digging your feet still dug in, then you got to go somewhere else. Number 10, you can't be too proud. Like I said, we got the after school program. I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party in Jersey, in the whole of New Jersey. Guess who tied the children's sneakers? Guess who cleaned their nose when they got boogers in their nose? I'm not too big.
Right.
Because the kids are in kindergarten. Sometimes when they come in there, they just want to, like, because I'm kind of big, whatever. They want to be hanging all over me. They want to hug me. They just want to sit on my lap, like still over. I'm like a grandfather to them. I mean, so it's like, so I'm in there, like whatever they need. I am not too big to do it. And this is how you gotta be. You can't be too proud. You can't have pride. But I'm done. I'm good.
All right. So I guess we got about 20 minutes left. Why don't we transition to John Brown? A lot of people may or may, I don't know what you know about John Brown, but he was possibly the catalyst that started the Civil War. He was an abolitionist leading up to the Civil War, reached prominence in the 1850s for his radical abolitionism. I guess chopping people's heads off could be considered radical. Yeah. He was not playing around, but he was actually an evangelical Christian, influenced by Puritan faith of his upbringing. He believed that he truly was an instrument of God. There's actually there's a movie called Shields that I really love, about a runaway slave who ends up hooking up with John Brown and fighting with him at what the hell? I'm gonna forget the name of it now.
Again, right?
Harper's Ferry. Harper's Ferry, which ultimately led to John Brown's death. And there's another series, I think it might have been on HBO, where Ethan Hawke actually plays John Brown. And they portray him as kind of a nutter. Like they portray him as kind of an extreme, just crazy person, but
in a crazy world. in the crazy world. Hey, but check this out though. He's crazy for being against slavery.
Exactly right.
So like I said, he wasn't crazy. He was the sanest one at that time. But with the whole world around you is crazy, you look like the crazy one. And like while we talking about John Brown, all you see is racial stuff, and they try to tell you white people, black people ain't never worked together, like they never did. The people never. That's a lie. That's a lie. From the beginning of this country, black people and white people were working together. That's what. Excuse me. That's what made them come up with these laws to try to separate us, because they started seeing that the indentured servants were starting to work with the armed slaves, and they ain't like that. The people in charge, the Trumps, the Bidens, the government. I mean, they wasn't feeling that, so they started putting laws in to try to separate the two groups, and those laws are still in on the books still today.
Oh yeah.
But when we talk about John Brown, that's what we mean by revolutionary culture. And if you don't know who John Brown is, we're gonna be coming here. We're gonna be doing this every Thursday. I'm gonna bring the links. I'm gonna bring the conversations, people that wrote about him, people that did their dissertation on John Brown. I'm gonna try to bring one of them to come speak. Because I'm telling you, when you learn about, man, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Because I don't know if they're gonna have it on the video we're about to watch. But John Brown linked up with Harriet Tubman. Did you know that? Did you know they talk about Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass? Did you know John Brown was working with them to go free slaves? They went, before he got captured at Harper's Ferry, they used to go around freeing slaves and sending them on the Underground Railroad to Canada, or they had them living up in the mountains, like to get away from the masters. John Brown went on the plantation, dragged the master out, cut off his head, and freed the slaves. That's the kind of ally I'm talking about.
Yeah, and he actually not only lost his life, but he actually lost the life of, I believe, a few of his kids as a result of this fight.
He gave his life for the people. When you hear me, when people hear me, I say, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people. That's walking in the footsteps of people like John Brown. Because he wasn't just talking. He wasn't just bumping his gums. Yeah, I'm a Panther. We follow Huey P. Newton, George Jackson. I follow all these different people. But revolution is colorblind, yo. I follow Mao. I follow John Brown. I follow Marx. Whoever is going to show me scientifically how to defeat these people, I'm listening to you.
Absolutely.
All power to the people.
All right, let me play this. This is a good informational video talking about going to the Harper's Ferry incident.
On the night of October 16th, 1859, the abolitionist John Brown, a white man from Connecticut, and his band of 21 men stormed the federal arsenal in the sleepy river town of Harper's Ferry, Virginia, with the intention of seizing the arsenal's weapons and waging a greater war against slavery. It was just the latest dramatic action taken by a man intent on stopping slavery through violence.
He wasn't naturally a violent person. In fact, he was very religious, very Christian. But he was just driven to an absolute fury by the fact that it looked like slavery was legally entrenched, almost in cement. And
I just want to, because I always tell people, like, I've been radicalized by common decency. John Brown was just a Christian, I guess you could almost say a pacifist for most of his life. And he got pushed to this point by our society, by slavery. And that's what led him to, I mean, he used violence to get his way.
You feel uncomfortable saying that, right?
Huh?
You feel uncomfortable saying that, don't you?
No, because I agree with some of this. I cannot argue with the fact that this was necessary.
No, because like the slave masters, the people in power, they were employing violence to maintain their system. Just like now, the government is going around bombing people, blowing people. I heard Trump say something that made me look up. Like I was looking down doing something, and Trump said, it's really not fair that we already won the war. He said something like that.
Yeah, he's like, why are they fighting back?
Yeah, like why are they closing the Strait of Hormuz? Like he said, like it's not fair. And these people are used to being able to bully everybody, and nobody can do nothing back. So the way to fight is how they think we should fight. So we should be the slave masters, cutting off people's limbs, doing whatever we're doing, exploiting people, having people work as indentured servants. Because let me tell you something. Those Europeans that came to America to work as indentured servants, they often were not free, because you know how capitalism works. When you come here, you get on these shores, they would exploit the shit out of you. And they exploited those Europeans that came over here. I mean, and that was violent. You're throwing people out of their home right now and making them go outside and live on the streets and it's cold and freezing outside. That is violence. But when the people stand up and say, we don't want these politicians in our communities no more, we don't even want them entering our city halls no more, we're going to form a line and stop them from coming in here. We're the violent ones, even though they've been the one administrating our suffering. Yo, it's deep, man. Yo, right now, I'm not telling nobody to go get no guns and do nothing. We don't have no leverage to do any of that. I mean, we will be wiped out. The first step, and this is the kind of the problem that John Brown ran into. Oh my goodness, yo, when you talk about him, it's so deep. I keep thinking about new stuff. Yo, do you know this motherfucker had a school for black people? John Brown opened a school for black people, and he was going to use that as a base to train for future revolutions, whatever. But he was on the right path, because you have to build those institutions. You can't go to war and you don't have the people, the mindset, none of that. This takes time. You have to build up the institutions where you're educating people for them to understand why they're not slaves, why they're not animals, why they're fighting with each other. Yo, that takes a generation or two. I wish he didn't die. I wish he was around for a while for him to put those institutions in place. So now when we looking with 200-300 years later, we're learning from him. We need to put these institutions in our community to build up that populace before you say you're going to do anything. Because I'm gonna tell you a secret. Once we start to build up these institutions and start to organize the people, yo, we've already got power, because the power's in the people. They're gonna have to come to us to challenge us. Like, why you not coming to our city halls? Why you not going to work at our companies? We got our own companies. We got our own city hall. I mean, but yeah, I like John Brown.
It says here, one of his quotes regarding abolitionist pacifism was, these men are all talk. And tell me this doesn't sound like Democrats. These men are all talk. What we need is action. That's what we have right now. We have
all talk. Bumping up
all
guns.
talk.
Talk, but do nothing.
Right. Write strongly worded letters while ICE is murdering people. And I think, right, you know what I mean? And I think people need to understand that one of the reasons I wanted to talk about, like, John Brown, well, actually, this was, I think, your idea, but I'm really glad you brought it up, was that right now, this administration, whether you want to believe it or not, wants to return America to the time of slavery.
Yeah.
That's what these concentration camps are. They're going to end up just being death camps and slave labor camps.
You say they want to return into slavery.
Well, I guess we technically already are in a state of slavery.
Yo, we work from sun up to sundown, and then now they don't give us shelter. We got to go out and find our own shelter, and we got to go pay them to give us shelter. I mean, so it's like, yo, we're still slaves, but by a different name. We have no power. We control nothing. Right
now, we're just called employed with our shitty pay. Yeah, I guess it is a form of slavery, because you have to go to that job to survive. You know what I mean? It's
your insurance, your health, everything is tied to it. So it's like you have to go there. If you don't go on that plantation to work, you're done. You can't survive. Your children won't like you. Your woman won't respect you. You ain't getting no ass. You can forget about it. If you ain't got no money, you ain't getting no cut. I mean,
don't I know it? No, I'm kidding.
The only thing that's going to solve this is violence. He raids Virginia to try to free the slaves and escaped in the mountains with them to create slave revolts throughout the South in an effort to disrupt slavery.
In Harper's Ferry, Brown and his Army of Liberation swiftly moved through the village. They occupied the arsenal, taking hostages. But armed citizens surrounded the rebels, exchanging gunfire until the U.S. Marines arrived, led by a general named Robert E. Lee. 3 days later, Brown was cornered and subdued. While John Brown awaited trial and sentencing, he spread his abolitionist message from prison through his published personal letters, and his words captivated the nation. 7 weeks after his arrest, John Brown and his surviving men were convicted and hanged. But Brown's execution and the violence he orchestrated at Harper's Ferry had a profound effect on the country.
He really wanted to create panic in the South, and he did, even though he failed, quote unquote, because he was captured, he was put in prison, he was hanged. He did create panic, a lot of panic in the South.
John Brown created fear among Southerners who felt Northern abolitionists would stop at nothing, even resort to violence to abolish slavery.
It fanned the somewhat dormant secessionist feeling in the South. It's really secession, the secession of the Southern states that caused the Civil War.
Although condemned for his use of violence, Brown's vision for a bloody end to slavery would be realized within a year with the start of the Civil War.
It took just an extreme bloodletting to get rid of slavery. So in that sense, sadly enough, John Brown was right in the idea that violence was needed.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but what we're dealing with right now, that's why I say I'm done with the resistance, because I can't go out there and just peacefully protest and hold up a sign or, do catchy chants and shit like that. Well, people are dying. People are dying on a daily basis. Women are being brutalized. Children are being sexually assaulted in these labor camps. They even got pregnant teens rallied all in or corralled all into one unit in Texas. This is not something that we're ever, and it bothers me that people think this, that we're ever going to peacefully protest our way out of. I mean, right now we're dealing with actual Nazis who believe that white people are superior just because of the color of our skin. They believe in eugenics, which is like the shit Hitler believed in, where breeding the perfect human kind of shit. And when you're dealing with a government that doesn't listen and doesn't care about you, whether you live or die, it honestly blows my mind that people think we can just peacefully protest our way out of this. Like this is somehow going to change anything. Like a lot of people are still waiting. Well, we'll just vote in November. Are you crazy? Do you honestly think we're going to be voting in November? Like that drives me nuts when people just say, oh, we're just going to wait until the next election. Okay, well, how many people are going to die in the meantime?
That's a definition for those people. They back in the Roman time, they used to call them political idiots. It was that simple. But he wasn't a communist. John Brown never said he was a communist. But everything he was doing was to build communes, community where everybody can share in the profits and everything equally. He was a businessman. I think he was in the wool business. He had a couple of businesses, but he understood the way how the markets work, the way how these rich people were controlling the system. You really couldn't survive like that. So he went, I'm talking about this in the 1800s. His mind, I don't know what he read. I don't know what he was studying, but his mind took him down the path of saying we had to live in a communal space where we all shared in what was going on. Because that was the beginning of, like back then, people used to make their own soap. People used to make their own materials to take care of themselves. But all these things was now being made in stores. You had to buy all these things. And they made it almost impossible for people to make things anymore. And he was like, nah, this ain't right. He was the first one to really see it. And I'm reading through him, I'm listening to him, and I'm thinking like, if he had just organized with other revolutionaries at that time, like people like Nat Turner, when you hear names like Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, these were people that were against slavery. I mean, if he was working with those people, man, it probably would have been something different. But it's not like now where we got social media. You could contact people. You could be able to know who somebody. You got Facebook. Be like, oh, this is my boy Jeremy. How did we meet Jeremy? I saw you on social media. We was at the meeting. Yeah. I'm like, where's Jeremy at?
I know, right? Yeah, back in those days, you got to send out a letter on horseback and hope it gets there.
It take a year to get back.
Right. Return shipping must have been a bitch on those things. Jesus. But yeah,
Go ahead.
I guess last year, it's always been inside me that peacefully protesting wasn't the way to do it. But at the same time, I think I bought into the propaganda again. that we could do this peacefully. And then as time went on, especially when I started seeing people getting murdered by ICE and the government being completely fine with it, like something in me broke. Like that shit broke my soul watching just innocent people. And like you were saying before about Alex Preddy, he literally died shielding that woman from an ICE agent who was trying to pepper spray her and abuse her.
Another white man.
Yeah. How many more people do we have to see brutalized by our own government?
Yeah, but check this out. It was a white man protecting a white woman getting shot by another white man. Like, what are you really fighting for? Because it's really supposed to be out there trying to get rid of the immigrants. The immigrants are no good, but you're out there killing your own people that's telling you what you're doing is wrong. Yeah. And that person that shot him know what he's doing is wrong. You know how I know he know what he's doing is wrong? He got a mask on. He's not proud of what he's doing. He knows what he's doing is wrong, but he do it anyway for what? For capitalism, for money, to be able to buy love, to pay rent. I mean, look, we in a sick place. Yo, but I keep talking. We gotta show the other video.
Oh no, we're good. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, okay. We live in a sick world, and then nobody's gonna come from anywhere to save us but us. We are the only people that can save each other. Yo, you the revolutionary you've been waiting for. I mean, so it's on you for you to start to read things like this if you really care. If the society around you, I mean, makes you feel uneasy, you're depressed, you're sad, it's not because of you. It's because of the society around you. It's causing you to feel that way. You can easily get out of that. Because we all naturally know this ain't how shit's supposed to be. Yo, you started off by talking about how this world is. Yo, what kind of world are we living in where it's like we're not even trying to find out what's in space? We're not even trying to find out how far we can go as a human race. Yo, we're here on this planet fighting about materialistic garbage, shit that means nothing. We're fighting about oil. Yo, there's a whole space out there. Yo, there's an ocean. Yo, we haven't even explored the ocean. We haven't even explored space. We haven't done nothing. All we've done is sit on this round ball and just fight about stupid shit. Kill millions of people all around the globe. And these people that they kill in Germany, the masses of the people don't never benefit from it. It's a small elite group of people that benefit from the suffering of everybody else. And they're invested in suffering everybody else so they could stay on top. Instead of us being human beings and exploring space. Yo, Earth is not finite. Earth is going to be done. Sooner or later, this Earth, they're going to destroy it. So what's going to happen to humanity? We done? The human race is done? We're not going to be able to go nowhere? All these planets, everything out there, we are done? Yo, this is crazy to me. And it's like me talking like this, it's not utopian. It's what we should be doing.
Right.
As people with a brain, with a sense that think intellectually. Why are we fighting about fucking iPads and TVs and movies and stupid shit?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's where I'm at with it, man.
No, I agree. And I think people need to realize that if we're going to change the way our society is, this is not going to be a quick fix.
No.
I mean, we're talking generational efforts here. You know what I'm saying? Like even far after we die, we are going to have to make sure that our children and our children's children carry on our message and carry on our legacy, which requires us to teach the children correctly. If we keep allowing
people think like when you say stuff like that it's not going to be right away, it's not going to be easy. They think like that journey is long and hard. Yo, it's a beautiful journey.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
Oh my God, that journey in us meeting each other, starting to organize together. Yo, look, I just met a new comrade in Germany. Yo, my world just expanded by meeting Germany. But we're gonna be going out there on where Germany live at. We're gonna be doing our weapons training where Germany live at. Yo, I didn't have access to that before I met him. Yeah. There's so many people out there. There's people around the world. Germany, I'm supposed to be going to Africa. Yo, you gonna pull up with me if you want to come? If you want to
kidding me? I'm down. I'm so down. Let's go.
Yo, we got a chapter in the Dominican Republic. Yo, we can go out there and chill on the beach. I mean, but why are we out there? Why would we be going to the Dominican Republic? We got a base out there. We're trying to put institutions there to raise the consciousness there. So while you're there doing the work, you're still in DR, baby. You're still next to the beach. You still yo, I'm telling you, this life is beautiful. It's better than this capitalist life that they got you working all day. You come home, you eat, maybe watch a TV show or two, some bullshit ass show, go to sleep, wake up, do this shit all over again. Yo, there's a whole different world you could be part of.
Oh yeah.
A whole
last couple of years of my life have been life-changing, really. It's really shown me a new path for myself. And, you know, it did tell, like, I always felt like my opinions didn't matter, but now with social media and I have kind of a following now, like I'm almost up at like 350,000 across all my platforms. And people, I always thought I was weird and extreme and had just crazy opinions, but I'm finding that there are just so many people out there that have the same opinions and they're just afraid to say them.
Yeah.
Out of fear of retribution from people on the internet. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what people have to say about me on the internet, because the internet's not like a real place. You know what I mean? It is and it isn't. Like people that don't know me, like you know me more than most people on this planet right now. You know what I mean? You probably, I like to think I'm a good judge of character. Like you and me have become very close over the last couple of months, and I never would have met you had I not gone down to Philly. You know what I mean? Like if I would have just not taken that step, because people were like, oh, you shouldn't go. And I went anyway. And as a result, I met some of the most amazing people. Like Philly showed me so much love. I'm still in contact with people from Philly and Jersey and I mean, all over the country now.
I don't I don't talk to nobody on the phone. I don't have time to talk. Yo, we talk every day. And
we do.
Before I said that to you, you wouldn't have knew it. That I don't like conversating with people on the telephone. I don't like talking, because most of the time what they're talking about, I really don't care to talk about. And our conversations be like 1 minute short. Yo, I don't. My best friend that I grew up with my whole life, we don't even talk on the phone.
I don't either.
You and I been talking because we're talking about the stuff that we're interested in, and that stuff is bigger than just bullshit. So like we laugh, we joke, we do all this stuff, but we're talking about serious shit. Yeah. I mean, so it's like we can have that conversation. But real talk, I'm not a phone person. I don't be beat to talk on the phone, yo. Right. Yo, my friend called me like last week, and he was like, somebody else wanted to talk to me. I'm like, I don't want to talk to that motherfucker. He like, why you don't want to talk? You like, because I'm cool with the person. We all cool. He like, why you don't want to talk to him? I'm like, I don't want to talk to no fucking body.
Right. I get that way too. I get that way too.
Yeah. But it's like, it's crazy because like I'm an antisocial organizer. But
that's a good way to describe me too. Because when I'm not on the streets, I stay at home. I don't do shit.
Well, but I don't even think it's that we're antisocial. It's just the stuff that people want to talk about that they want to do, we don't want to do. That's why we don't have time for that. But
I can't handle random conversation anymore about bullshit.
But but people that are interested in this, we could talk all day. Hey, Becca, I see you up there, Rebecca. We could talk all day. Word up. We could talk all day and every day about whatever, because like we share the same ideas. We're talking about the same things. I don't want to talk about goofy shit. I don't give a fuck about the Grammys. I don't care about Cardi B. I don't care about football. I don't give a shit about somebody chasing the ball around.
You remember Becky? You met Becky in Harrisburg.
I did?
Yeah.
That's who was with you?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Becky? Becky with the good hair. What's up, Becky?
I've said only good things about Becky, right? Haven't I not?
What up? And look, we already cool already. She's right here talking. Like I didn't even have to see who she was, but she was cool then too. She was cool in person. But yeah, man. But yeah, yo, this was great, man. Yo, we're gonna be doing this every week, right?
Every Thursday at 10 a.m. So mark your calendars. So we got 4 shows this weekly now. Sunday at 2 p.m., Monday, Tuesday at 9 p.m. And then we're gonna be doing this one every Thursday at 10 a.m. So yeah, that's all we have for today. Chairman Afrika, you got anything else you want to add, or are we good?
Yeah, he got 4 shows. We got 3 shows that we doing. On Wednesday, we do the political education class, which we're going to be bringing here. Yo, by and large, we're going to be doing like 7 shows because we're going to put them all together. Sooner or later, we're going to put them all together, and we're going to be doing it all together because like there's no point in me being over there, doing it over there, you doing yours over there. We're going to figure it out, how we bring it all together. But yeah, but
Yep.
we got the political education classes on Wednesday. We got the podcast on Sundays, all power to the people. And we here. I mean, so we're
Yep.
gonna find a way, maybe the next month, we'll find a way to put all this stuff together so we
Hell
don't
yeah.
have to be all different places, because we're all really talking about the same thing, the same ideology. I mean, and your co-host, he out in Vegas, right?
No, I got one one's in Long Island, and then James is out in LA.
In LA, Long Island, you right there, you close. I want to go out
Yeah.
to LA. We got to go out to LA to go meet them. Yo,
I've been talking about it.
Yo, these are all universes that we are opening up. You see, I never really been to Long Island, but now when I go out there, that's a universe that's opening up to me. Then we're gonna go out to man, I can't wait to go out to LA. I want to go get an In-N-Out burger.
So I would like to, we've been talking about doing speaking. I would like to do speaking events this summer if we could, you and me specifically. I'm talking to a couple people in Philly that are already involved in, like, I think one owns a community garden. So we're going to be involved in trying to grow crops in the city. And we're going to be doing a lot of recruiting nationwide for this initiative, because my hope is we can build enough of a following, not following, but enough of, I guess, a revolution to where we can even have quick reaction forces. Like if you know what I mean? If ICE shows up in a certain city, in a certain state, we should be able to call up our people and be like, get your asses there now. They need you. You know what I'm saying? Or any kind of humanitarian aid we can do, whether it's feeding people or getting people clothes or getting mothers diapers and baby formula. Like, we want to actually try to affect the world in a positive manner, but do it in a revolutionary way, which also requires us to fight against the system, which is why typically we are deemed, because John Brown, hell, before, up until, I don't know, even on, when you look up John Brown on YouTube, it always says, was he a terrorist or an American hero? You know what I mean? So I was labeled a domestic terrorist last year by the government because I'm an anti-fascist. You know what I mean? Wow. So you may just be on, we're going to be on the right side of history. That's all I really care about. You know what I mean?
And what makes us different, like, yo, when you get off this right here, you go to another YouTube show that's talking like that, say they're on the left. They're not like what we're going to be doing. We're in the community, actually putting institutions in the community to serve the people. It's communities. We're going to create these pockets of resistance in all these communities. You learned that in here too. It's called, like you were just saying, like that force that's ready to, like when something happened, that people are ready to do something about it. That's called intercommunalism. That he talks about that in the Red Book. Like in all these different communities, we got to have pockets of resistance. That's what we're gonna be doing. Yep. That's what we are doing. So when I say we got the after school program, that is a way for us to teach these children resistance. So we could have that in Philly, we could have it in LA, we could have it in New York, we could have it everywhere. It's just having that discipline to go out there and do the work. And how does, like, so how would you do that? So let's say we go to New York out there and we say we want to put something out there. They'll go find some kids that want to play football, want to play basketball, want to do anything. And you just start with that. They just come to teaching them how to play basketball. But while you're teaching them how to play basketball, you could start to institute the philosophies here. Like, once we have our meetings as a team, when you leave here, you don't go gossip about nobody here. We're all on the team together. And don't be out here, we're running the play, and you half-assing the play. I mean, then you're going to be on the bench because you don't want to work for the rest of the team. Nobody is too big to dive on the floor to get a ball. Everybody dive on the floor. You can teach those principles through this, using sports. And once you've done that, you have an institution there. You have a pocket there of resistance, but you have to, like, do the work every day. This shit can be done. It just takes people that's willing to commit themselves to doing this work. You could have a food thing where you're giving out food. If you're giving out food, people coming to get that food. You could start there. There's so much things you could do, man.
Absolutely. So thanks, everybody. If you want to subscribe to Chairman Afrika's YouTube channel, all that information is in the description of the video. And please don't forget to like, subscribe here, share this video as well. Again, we'll be doing this every week at 10 o'clock. So it'll be an educational series focused on revolutionary culture. Other than that, I love you.
No. One more. If you're here and you agree with what we're talking about, you part of the group already. You need to share this. You got to bring more people in. The only way we're going to do this is by bringing more people, as many people as we could bring in. That's what makes it stronger. We don't have money. We're not rich. The only thing we have is people power. So if you could post this, you could share this, you're part of the revolution already.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, I'm not even being facetious. I'm not just trying to say this to be saying it. We have no platform as revolutionaries. We have to create it. I mean, and everybody that's here, if you're interested in what we're talking about, reach out to Jeremy, reach out to myself. Let's see how you could be part of this.
Absolutely.
I mean, until next time, all power to the people. I live for the people. Go ahead, finish it.
I die for the people.
All power to the people.
Have a good rest of your day,
Talk to you later, Jeremy.